and welcome. Today is front porch makeover time. Welcome back to Rain or Shine Gardening. I am Katie, and today my front porch needs some help. My front entryway. It really struggled through the winter. I have some dead things to remove, some things to kind of spruce up, just some regular maintenance to keep everything looking nice. And I picked up these beautiful shade plants that will hopefully bring some variants of color and some excitement to the front entryway through summer. And so I'm going to share what those are that I picked up. And then today is part one of the video because I have a lot of other things to take care of um, to make this front entryway look a little better. But today, what I'm going to be doing is planting up my two front pots that I have on the front by my front door. So let's get started. I'll show you what I got. Okay, I'm going to share with you what I got. My front entryway is in 100% full shade. Doesn't get any lick of sunshine during the day. So I really had to find things that would be okay in full shade, not part shade, full shade. A couple things that I think I'm going to stretch a little bit to try to keep happy, but for the most part, I think these things will do okay. So the first thing that I found is actually over here. This is an astilbe, and it just looked really, really great in the garden center where I bought it. It's called Vision in White. So it's going to get these white sprays of blooms with this really nice green foliage. And this does say that this does say part shade to full shade. So it should stay really happy where I'm going to put it here in the shade, full shade all day long. It does say the description is dense, upright plumes of creamy white on glossy, fern-like mounding green foliage. Beautiful cut flower, needs evenly moist soil. So this is going to be one of my largest plants that I'm going to put in these planters. It does feel like it's got a really dense root ball in this container, so I'm not sure how much molding I'll be able to do to it in planting, but I really liked the interest that this had with those kind of sharp leaves on the sides. They don't feel sharp, but they have these kind of sharp edges. And then it almost has like a little bit of red around the very edge of the leaf there too. So I've got one for each side, and these pots are going to mirror each other. I really like the balance that that brings. So I have a really hard time not balancing them and having them match. So with that being really green and with the fern-like structure, I also decided to get these two ipomoeas. And this is called Sidekick Black Heart. And the description says dark black heart shape leaf, densely well branched habit, exposure part sun to part shade. So I'm hoping this will do okay here. This is one of my stretches, but you'll see this really pretty purple black foliage on this one. So it's going to contrast that green and give some depth to this container too. So I got two of those, one for each of the pots. And then to contrast the dark and also to bring some small little different texture, I got this little guy. So this is Lysimachia Goldie. Pretty similar to Creeping Jenny. I think it's the same. The exposure is part shade to full shade, so this should do really well, and I'm hoping that it will keep, in the shade it might get more green than gold, but I'm hoping it keeps some of that color in the shade because I really like the contrast to the green and to the dark purple that I'm going to have, or the black in there. So That's a new, different kind of structure, hoping that it trails a little bit. It does say bright yellow flowers bloom on plants with golden yellow leaves on trailing stems. So this will kind of be a spiller out the side. And then I got 3 varieties of impatiens. And this one does say it's a classic white. And it says full sun to full shade. So it's a really versatile plant. But I got this one for, again, that kind of bright green. And then I got one, let's see here. This is called Coral Pink. And it's an Impatiens 2. And it's part shade, not full shade. So we'll see how this one does. But it says a dense mound of dark bronze green foliage produces masses of hot orange red flowers. So hopefully that will do okay up here. It might not be as good as the white because it does say that it wants more sun. Let's see, that's my other white. This is my other Impatiens that I got, and it is called Compact Purple Candy. And it says that it blooms late spring to fall, full sun to full shade. So this is another one that maybe will like that full shade. But look at the front side of these leaves. And then when you flip them over, look how red and bright of contrast that is. So I'm hoping that will bring a little bit of contrast. You can see the underside of that plant. It is so red. So I've got 3 of those Impatiens. And then I did get this Dracaena. So just for the spiky nature of it, I thought it might bring a little bit of height. It does also say full sun to full shade. So we should be good up here with a full shade. Sword-like leaves bring a little fight to the bouquet, but hopefully this will maybe bring a little bit of height where everything else is a little bit lower growing. This will be, and you can see it's ready to get out of this pot. So that's what I have to put in these pots, and I have to remove what's in there now, so I'll show you what's in there. Okay, this is what I have that I'm removing. This is a sweet box, and something happened to it during the winter, but it is not happy. It may just be ready to come out of these pots. But this one's losing some leaves. It does have some newer growth on it that does look better. So I think I'm going to transplant this one out into my garden somewhere and see how it does. So this one I think might be worth trying to save. However, this one's a lost cause. I might try to cut this one all the way back and stick it in a pot and try to recoup it. But yeah, it's fried. I've been watering it. I've been taking care of it and feeding it, but it's beyond repair, I'm afraid. So we're gonna get rid of that one. So now I think it's just time for part 1 of the front entryway makeover. So time to start clearing these pots out and getting my new things in there and seeing what it looks like. Okay, before I start planting, I am going to put some biotone in each of these pots. I want to really help recharge the soil that was in here from the last plants. I'm hoping it wasn't a bad decision to not replace it, but oh, it is what it is at this point. If we see all these plants going downhill quickly, then we might make a decision. I'm actually going to put a little bit more and kind of mix this in down a little deeper, just so those roots have a place to go. Okay, now my plant arrangement. I think what I'm going to do is set these in there to begin with to see if I like my placement first. I know that it's going to be a struggle to cram everything in there, but I like the Dracaena in the back so that it's not squashing everything. And then this probably is still be right in the front. That almost takes up the whole pot, but I do want to cram in some other things around it. Let's see. I have my dark Ipomea. I'm going to put that up front. What I think I'm going to do is put one impatient on the side, and then my Ipomea, another impatient, the creeping Jenny, and then another impatient. So I think I have my game plan. Now I can get it out of the containers and try to make these fit. We'll see how this goes. Okay, here it is. The Ipomea got a little bit wet, but you'll see that tall Dracaena, my Astilbe, which is going to have tall white flower stalks coming off of it. Then I've got my coral impatient over here. Got that bright chartreuse color creeping Jenny over on the side. I've got this really pretty Ipomea that was the purple. I'm sorry, the impatient that was purple. And then the Ipomea, the dark, pretty purple foliage. And then the white impatient. So when that blooms, it will contrast nicely with that purple. So really happy with what that looks like. Now I need to repeat on the other side. Okay, so I'm really happy with how these turned out. Really excited to come home and to be able to go in my front door and not see those dead sweet box anymore in those front planters. So I'm really excited how these turned out. And like I said, should I have planted these up as the first part of my front entryway makeover? No, but that's what I was motivated for. And sometimes you just got to roll with that motivation. So that's what I worked on today. And definitely need some pressure washing. As you see, it's very green concrete. This, again, this front entranceway does not get any sun at all. So it really, in the wintertime, gets green after all the rain. So I need to do some pressure washing, repaint some trim on our entryway, and then replace some of the mats. Maybe do some additional decorations. I don't know yet, but um, that will come in a future video. So that was part one. Rain or shine, we're out here doing projects. See you next time.